Hi and welcome back to the forest. Hope you're having a good week. Today I've come to do a little review of Orlik's Golden Slice. Now, I have tried this one already and it's really delicious. The smell, it sort of smells like dried apricots to me. And I've got a cup of decaf coffee, a splash of milk. In my last video I did about drinks, someone recommended decaf coffee, so yeah, I've been doing that actually. It works really good because I think coffee for me is probably the nicest thing to have with a smoke. And I've got it in my lovely Clark's, I think it's Clark's favourite. Yeah, 780 Clark's favourite. I absolutely love this pipe. I've been really enjoying using this. It's probably not the best thing for a walk out in the forest or something, as I am doing today, but I just wanted to use it really and show people how nice it is. The reason I wouldn't probably use it too much for walking around, I actually bought a little box to put it in so it doesn't get bent or anything, because it is a little bit delicate, the stem, so I'd be probably a bit careful with this one. I wouldn't want to beat it up too much, but yeah, I've got just a bolster wood little filter in there, which I quite like using those. So let's get it lit up. Got the trusty Zippo. Very windy today. I'm actually hoping a tree doesn't land on me because it is really, I heard one break in the forest earlier, so yeah, that wouldn't be fun, would it? Oh, there's a fly in my coffee. Yeah, I'd say if somebody struggles a bit with tongue bite, this is a really great pipe, especially if you like aromatics or Virginias. I try to use this mainly with aromatic and Virginia blends just because it helps to eliminate tongue bite really. Now this is a really, someone recommended this in the comments on one of my videos. And a lot of people talk about it, so I thought, and I have to admit I really liked the artwork on it as well. Yeah, and I've not been disappointed. I'm really starting to love Virginia blends, or Virginia. I believe this has a little bit of Latakia, just a hint. There is actually a little description on the back, but the writing's so small I can't even see it. Yeah, but it's a really, really delicious, it's quite a sweet Virginia. So this is my third Virginia now. I've had Sherlock Holmes, Peterson Sherlock Holmes, Peterson Flake, and now this. And yeah, I really love this one. had a bit of an eventful week. I wasn't sure if I should speak about it or not really, but I guess I can. So I told my family this week that I smoke a pipe. Excuse the train. Which went down like a lead brick. And my girlfriend as well, so I was really surprised actually. Yeah, so the first person I told was my younger sister. I took her for breakfast over in the village where we grew up when we were younger. So we went over there, had a little breakfast, and then after breakfast I said, should we go into the village and have another coffee? So we went into the village and we sort of found a nice little spot. We sat outside, ordered 2 iced coffees, and we were sitting there. And I said to her, she knows I smoke already. I told her a little while back, almost when I first started. But I said to her, would you mind if I have a smoke? We were out there's nobody, no other tables by us where people were sitting or anything. We were literally just by ourselves. And she said, no, I'd prefer it if you didn't, because I'd be embarrassed if anyone saw us. So I thought, oh, right, okay. So I didn't argue or anything, it's fair enough. But yeah, it surprised me really. So that was the first, that happened. Then we went to see my older sister after we had done that. We popped in to see her. And again, we went and sat outside, had a couple of cold drinks. And I said to my older sister, who's got a lovely big garden, really beautiful. And I said to her, would you mind if I smoke my pipe? Because this is about lunchtime now. And she said the same thing. She said, no, I prefer it if you didn't. I don't want to smoke in my lungs, and I don't agree with it. So again, yeah, I was a bit surprised. I mean, it wouldn't have got in her lungs. It was quite a breezy day, and we were all spaced out, sitting on chairs. So again, I was a bit surprised. And then the third situation, which came as a bit of a blow, was my girlfriend I've had for about 8 or 9 years now. And I told her that I'm smoking a pipe. And yeah, it's a little bit tricky to talk about this one, because I was shocked. Basically, she said that if I don't stop smoking, she's going to break up with me and the relationship is over. So again, I was a little bit taken aback. I was really surprised that all of these responses to me telling people that I know, people that I'm close with, my family, that I smoke a pipe now. And it really got me thinking actually more deeply about sort of why there was such a negative reaction. I think it's a two-part thing. One, I think there used to be the propaganda for smoking. It was just everywhere, wasn't it? The old ads used to be trying to make out that it was like a healthy thing to do. Doctors would be recommending it. And that sort of, I think, has corrected itself, but it overcorrected itself. And now it's like we get propaganda the other way, really making it often out to be a lot worse than it actually is, and over-exaggerating the dangers. It's not to say there isn't dangers, and I'm not, encouraging anyone to do, you got to do your own research and do what you feel comfortable with. I'm not trying to encourage or discourage anyone from doing what they do. It's a personal thing. But I do think that, particularly in the UK, for example, in Europe, they've gone so I mean, if you look at the stuff on the tins, I don't even really like to show it. I don't even like to look at it myself because I think it's awful, really. But yeah, it made me think about that, and it also made me think about how people that we know, friends, family, loved ones, sort of, they put you in a box often, don't they? And if you sometimes, I think it's almost instinctual that if you go outside of that box, they have a very negative reaction to that, and it might be positive, something positive that you're doing, or something that which they perceive as negative. But often, if you go off of the track which they put you on, or they perceive that you should be on, then they have a very negative reaction to that. But yeah, I was quite surprised at how my family reacted, particularly my girlfriend. It's sort of still something we're discussing, but I straight up told her that I'm not going to stop, and I think she knew that in a way, because I'm not someone that likes to be told what to do. I hate being told what to do. I'm a very free-thinking person. I do a lot of research on things, and I consider things quite carefully. I don't just do things without thinking about them carefully. So I'm not going to be told that I can or I can't do something by anyone, really. And I know that might sound arrogant, but I think you have to do and live the way you want to live in life, and you have to do what you want to do. You can't be sort of pushed around too much by other people, because that doesn't end well, generally. So yeah, it was quite an eventful week, and I wasn't really expecting it, I've got to be honest. But I'd like to know what everybody else thinks. You know, have you experienced something similar when you told people that you were smoking the pipe? I wasn't confrontational in any way. I'm saying all this, you know, even about my girlfriend, but I was non-confrontational about it. I didn't try to argue with her about it or something. I think there's also a very negative perception around it, and it's been so overblown that people think it's something that it's not, because they immediately associate it with smoking cigarettes, which in my opinion are a lot more harmful than this. And I tried to explain how much positive, the positives, basically, how much it's helping me with stress and how therapeutic it's been for me and things like that. But yeah, they couldn't be reasoned with. They were all very adamant. So that's fair enough. I'm not going to try and argue with people. People will think what they want to think at the end of the day, won't they? So there's not really much use arguing with them too much. But yeah, a little bit of a personal one. Hope it's not too much of a downer. It did make me think about more. Obviously, they had a negative reaction, but their reaction surprised me really. It made me think about pipe smoking in general. I do think people that smoke pipes are often free-thinking folk, people that are not easily put inside a box, because in some people's view, pipe smoking, it's a silly thing, it's out of fashion, that's viewed as an old person's thing. So, and I know I don't view it like that, but a lot of young people would, and maybe all ages might, because it is something that's considered a pastime of yesteryear. But I personally love it, and I think it connects me with a past that I want to stay connected to. I don't want to forget the past, and I'm quite a sentimental person, and I like to feel that I'm keeping a tradition alive that was, an integral part of my ancestral history and heritage. And it's become under attack, particularly from government. In the UK, for example, it is very expensive for me to smoke. It's like £23-24 a tin for a tin of tobacco here, because most of it's tax. Our government basically is taxing it so high that it's trying to stop people even doing it. And in my view, that's not about health, because if it was really about health, they'd be doing sort of the same bans on sugar and alcohol, wouldn't they? But they don't. I mean, there is tax on those things as well, but the tax on nicotine is so excessive, it's actually criminal, I think. That might be a controversial opinion, but I think that there's something else at play. I don't think it's just about trying to stop people because of health reasons. I think it's about trying to some extent, disconnect us from our heritage and our history. But that might be going a bit deep. Maybe I'm overthinking it a little bit too much. Yeah, I'm not going to give this up. I enjoy it so much, and it's really given me, in some ways, a new lease of life. I've been enjoying talking to people so much as well on the channel and on other people's videos. I think it's such a great community, and it's ultimately a positive thing that I'm not going to be dissuaded from doing. You're welcome to come for a little walk with me afterwards. It's very hot today, so I couldn't film too much because my phone was overheating because it was so hot. So yeah, I did a little bit at the end. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a great week. Please let me know your thoughts. If you've had sort of similar reactions, or how you dealt with those kind of reactions. I didn't really know what to say, actually. That was the other thing. I tried to sort of reason a little bit, but then I realised that they weren't going to listen, so I just sort of stopped at that point. But maybe there's a better way to respond to it, I'm not sure. But yeah, please let me know your thoughts. I love to hear them. I love to read the comments. Anyway, thanks very much. I'll catch you in the next one.